Welcome to Dawn Mountain. Today is Sunday, April 13th, 2025, and it's 11 o'clock, time for our weekly meditation. Welcome to everybody who's here online and in person. My name is Charlie. I'm one of the students who leads meditation on a monthly or bi-monthly rotation. And these are Ann and Harvey, Riggs and Drolma, and Namgyal Dorje, our lamas who founded the center, 30 years ago?
96.
So, I have a book that we'll pass around. It has the name, we will put names into it of anybody who's ill or has recently died, as in the bardo, the transition period between death and rebirth, and or anybody who you feel needs any energy for whatever reason. And we will dedicate the merit of our practice at the end of today's hour and send that out to them. So I only request that write as legibly as possible so I can read and not mispronounce the names, and then not embarrass myself. So there are two types of practice we're going to do today. One is the silent meditation, where we follow our breath, in breath and out breath. The second meditation is a chanting of the sacred syllable hung that we chant twice with each exhale, and we'll get into that as we do it. We have a book that we're working through. At the end of the meditation, I'll read a chapter from that. And right now I found something else that I felt was important to read as an introduction to the meditation. Sometimes there's a question, why can't I quiet my mind? During the early stages of establishing a meditation practice, and even further down the line, it's natural to experience frustration with how futile it can be to try to quiet the mind. This is normal, is not an indication that you aren't cut out for meditation. A simple reframing of the goal of meditation can bring us perspective in this particular challenge. The idea that meditation is fundamentally about quieting the mind is a common misconception. Meditation isn't about controlling the behavior of the mind, it's about training the way we respond to it. We can't suppress thought and feeling formations from arising any more than we can suppress unwanted phenomena from ever happening in the world around us. But we can act as skillfully as possible, creating causes with the highest potential for wisdom, for wholesome effects, by training how we respond to and engage with them. In this way, meditation isn't about trying to control our thoughts any more than strength training is about trying to make the objects around us weigh less. Through gradual and intentional conditioning, we increase our capacity and resilience so that our inner and outer realities become more workable to us. Without trying to alter the frequency, content, or nature of our thoughts, mindfulness meditation helps us change how we relate to them. By witnessing our thoughts non-judgmentally and then choosing to let them go, we come to see reality more accurately and understand how much of it, the clutter in our minds, is actually the results of our own additional narratives. Thoughts will always continue to rise, but they don't linger quite as long, and the temptation to follow them down the rabbit hole becomes less overpowering, creating space. Over time, the mind naturally becomes quieter as a byproduct of this growing awareness, rather than from the direct effort to shush our thoughts. We become empowered to let thoughts go or contemplate them with intention if we so choose. By cultivating a gentle yet disciplined way of interacting with our minds, we are able to experience an inner quiet, not just in the absence of thoughts, but in the presence of them too. So we'll start with the silent meditation, following our breath. Thank you. You hand me one of the prayers. Yeah, one of the. That is, thank you. We'll start with the aspirational prayers on the top of the group practice prayers or in our prayer book. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. So take a moment to settle. We are supported by the three pillars. One is the earth. We can feel that we're sitting on a chair or a cushion, which is connected all the way to the center of the earth. The next pillar of support is our spine, which holds us upright. We want our spine to be straight with some slight natural curvature, and not rigid. And in front of our spine is our central energy channel, which travels from our dough just below our navel inside and up out the top of the crown of our head. If we tuck our chin slightly, this straightens our spine at the neck to facilitate the energy flow. And in our tradition, we meditate with our eyes open and a soft focus down in front of us, about 45 degrees. Your hands can be in your lap or on your knees. Now we'll chant the syllable hum twice with each exhale. And as we do, notice the vibrations going down from our throat throughout our whole body. Hum, 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 Now we go back to the silent meditation following our breath. As we go back to the chanting, let me remind you that this is not a break from the meditation. This is a part of the meditation, just a different focal point. We still, thoughts will still come up, and as we're hearing the sound and feeling the sound throughout our body, when the thoughts come up, we just sooner or later will recognize them and go back to. We usually continue to chanting while we're having thoughts, but we let them go and go back to focusing on the focal point. Hum, 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 hum. Now's the time if you want to take a break and stretch just a little bit, change your position.
Charlie, can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I was just today when I was chanting, I was trying like different pitches to see where it would land in my body, the vibration.
Yes.
And it made me think of like chakras, like in yoga. And I'm wondering, is there something like that with our practice here? And then my second question, then that made me think of yoga. And like in yoga, they say that the movement prepares us to sit in meditation. So is there something equivalent to that or along those lines in our practice here?
Use this here.
I'd like for you to answer that.
Hi, Annie.
Hi, I hope it's okay that I'm asking something
That's
else.
okay. We love your questions, your thinking. So, there are chakras in our system of practice. In the way that the Hong came to us, transmitted from Rinpoche, the main sense is that it has a kind of location in your heart. It's what's called a seed syllable. So, like in Guru Rinpoche, he has a Hong at his heart. Many of the deities, it's like their heart mind. It's like what they emerge from. So the main thing here really is to feel that your mind, your breath, and your sound are united. Mind, breath, and sound are united. So it's really, in addition to, experiencing the blessings, we can also say vibrations, it's a practice of, when we observe our breath, where we have a particular focus that exists in our body in a particular place. When we feel that mind, breath, and sound are united, so the sound and like the breath is going out into the room. And so it's an opportunity to feel kind of a natural openness that will then perhaps support going back and focusing more on the breath. So we don't, in this case, particularly focus on the chakras. Since you're familiar with the chakras, you may notice, that they're affected. And as for where it lands in your body, I mean, that's very interesting. And it's always interesting to notice what's going on in your body. There's no instruction here to, except the sense that it's coming from your heart, but it's really spreading throughout your body as it goes out, which is interesting because ordinarily we think of it as coming from our throat. And of course, there's a sense in which it does. And in principle, all your chakras are involved. The belly, or if you're settled in your belly, that helps feel more settled. Your heart is open with the syllable. The light really is coming from there. The sound, I think of it, feel it as coming from my heart, but of course there's also the throat vibrating, so there's the throat chakra, and then just the kind of openness of, in some sense, the breath and the sound are really undifferentiable from space too, if you feel it that way. So there's some sensitivity, kind of wisdom available to your crown chakra. You might feel something like that, which is lovely. It's not part of this practice as such. Does that speak to you, your question?
Yeah, thank you. And I was sort of feeling it, or maybe I was consciously trying to channel it for grounding down and out, but it should come
Yeah.
hard and out.
This one is more out. The grounding that we do, you're right that usually, as Charlie briefly described, we do, as you know, in the beginning, the first pillar, feeling sensing your support, your seat, and then realizing that that support is actually coming to you from the center of Earth. That's one way of grounding. You could also, we don't always emphasize this, but you could feel that there's an extension from the bottom of your spine to the center of the Earth, and feel the grounding that way. So, you know, your interest in doing grounding is totally relevant. But we feel, and of course you could, and you know, at any time, if you're feeling like you're spacing out, of course you can turn your attention to settling. Good to have your attention in your belly sometimes. You know, we seek to have the belly relaxed. And as Charlie mentioned, the dough, forefinger widths down and forefinger widths in, and that's really the deepest place of support in the body itself. So as you're observing your breath, you can certainly take some time even to feel your breath going all the way down to your belly and help grounding in that way. But you're right, the hung is really like this.
Thank
So,
you. And
thank
is there
you.
any like movement attached, like any movement practices in this practice here? Like, you know, like in yoga, they say all the yoga moves are to prepare us to sit in meditation. Is there anything
They say what? All the yoga moves?
like they say when you do yoga and you do all the poses, that's really to prepare the body to sit in meditation?
Yes,
Is there
yes.
something similar to that in our practice here?
Well, have you done the lotus dance with Rinpoche? You'll do it if you, well, we're going to do it in the Poa retreat. You will see it sooner or later.
Okay.
And that's it's a dance. It's very gentle. It's something that he created actually for Dzogchen practice. So the principle that the body can be prepared is, you know, is very important. So in our very light way, that's what we're doing when we're sitting. You're free to do your yoga before you sit, you know, definitely. It's not embedded in our tradition. There are bodily practices that in our tradition come a little later. They're not taught, you know, kind of like in this way. But hang around and you'll get some of them. We're also going to have a yoga teacher, try to have a yoga teacher come in the mornings, I think starting in the summer in June too, so people can have that experience. Because yeah, we have bodies too, definitely.
Thank you. And then thank you too for putting all the recordings online, because on days when I find it challenging to get into the meditation, I just watch one of the YouTube videos and I do the meditation with you all in video. It makes it easier.
Oh, how nice. If some of them seem like particularly ones that we should recommend to people, please let us know. If some you find, you know, there may be a couple that are your favorites, that would be interesting to know. We haven't watched them in a long time.
I've been
personally.
watching ones that are a few years old on like the old stories of the Buddha, like with Harvey and yourself. And there was another female that was speaking, and I sort of went back a little bit to sort of catch
Oh,
up.
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, if you like them, write them down and we'll remind people of them. That would be really helpful, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you. Thank you for being so actively engaged.
Well, thank you for creating all the content. Thank you.
Okay, and I would also like to remind everyone that both of these practices, we encourage people to take home. They have a cumulative effect to help us not only practice learning, practice paying attention and learning to see what our thoughts are so we can respond appropriately, but also being mindful all day long is part of that. So we're still reading in the book from Pema Chodron, and this week we're on chapter 96. This very moment is the perfect teacher. As we become more open, we might think that it's going to take bigger catastrophes to make us want to exit in our habitual ways. The interesting thing is, as that we open more and more, it's the big ones that immediately wake us up and the little ones that catch us off guard. However, no matter the size, color, or shape of the catastrophe, the point is to continue to lean into the discomfort of life and see it clearly, rather than try to protect ourselves from it. In practicing meditation, we're not trying to live up to some kind of ideal, quite the opposite. We're just being with our experience, whatever it is. If our experience is that sometimes we have some kind of perspective and sometimes we have none, then that's our perspective, that's our experience. If sometimes we can approach what scares us and sometimes we absolutely can't, then that's our experience. This very moment is the perfect teacher is really a most profound instruction. This very moment is the perfect teacher. Just seeing what's going on, that's the teacher right there, teaching. We can be with what's happening and not dissociate. Awakeness is found in our pleasure and our pain, our confusion and our wisdom. It's available in each moment of our weird, unfathomable, ordinary, everyday lives. Anybody have any comments or question about any of the reading? Certainly we spend a lot of time, many of us, avoiding what's uncomfortable. Sometimes when I'm watching videos online, I find Gabor Mate, a physician in Canada, and he refers to all kinds of addictions and many behaviors as coping mechanisms, because at some time we're trying to avoid whatever's uncomfortable. So the more we can, as Pema teaches us here, the more we can just be with it, be aware of it, then it takes its strength away. I don't see any hands up. Either of you have anything to say about that?
Comments or how this relates to your practice? Yeah, Neil.
Actually, Charlie, that thing you started the session out with, where did that come from that you read?
I found it I keep a folder of my Dawn Mountain Sunday morning meditation, and there's the guidelines for our order of service, or whatever we call it, where I completely overlooked the aspirations and Santideva this morning, but it was in an email. I think maybe put your email in the chat. It came to me as an email. It's from Dharma Moon. Food for non-thought.
There's no author associated?
I cannot find one. It just a couple of pages, and I don't know why there was not one here.
Yeah, maybe put it in the chat for everyone.
Yeah, that's an
When
idea.
you put it in the chat.
Let me see if I can find it. It's
Maybe you
from
could give it to
June of 2024. It's later than you think. And I think I can find it on my laptop at home, but I don't have it here.
Thanks.
Okay, so I'm sorry. One comment about the chapter 96. So I
Yes.
think one thing it's making me remember is one of the videos of Harvey's, because Harvey seems to talk often in his videos about not being hard and judgmental on ourselves, right? So that's what it's reminding me of with that chapter. She's saying whether you can handle something that's difficult or not, it just is what it is. Like, don't beat yourself up because you can't deal with something that might be difficult. So that's a really good reminder.
Thank you. All right. Let's do another short practice and then we'll do the dedication and the blessings. On the bottom of the group practice prayers and soon on our screen. Shane, can you give us the dedication and by this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, every one, to reach to that very ground. With all of you in mind we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom, shine within us everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. We dedicate the merit of today's practice to all sentient beings, and specifically to Dennis, Don, Carl, Woody, Alberto, Gina, Ben, Catherine, Myron, my mom, family, friends, Terry, Stay Stray, Marilyn, Anna Sullivan, Lulu, and Nora for health and vision. All right, for the last part of our service, we do a single ah. It's a different chant. We all do it together.
Please unmute.
Please unmute so we can have our voices all together. We visualize a white light from our heart center that expands out through the room to each other and out throughout the universe. And now, a word from our sponsor. Emily has a few announcements.
I'm coming. Yeah, so this Tuesday we continue with our Teaching Tuesday series. The series will continue until the first Tuesday in May. Then in the summer, it'll switch to Sundays. So please take a look online. We also have a POA retreat coming up, May 12th through 18th. This is a practice done for the dying or in the moment of death. Harvey has said it is liberation without meditation, which sounds like I can come to this one retreat and never practice again. Okay, I don't think that's what that means. May 19th through the 23rd, we'll have Ground Path and Fruition Prayer with Kempo Yeshi. Kempo Yeshi will be here in person, and if you are able to make it, this is an incredible opportunity. A lot of teachers want to work with Kempo Yeshi, and he is coming here to teach for us a text that he personally loves. We also have in 20 minutes, if you've donated to Don Mountain in the last year, we're going to have a donor appreciation event. Nathaniel Rich will be online talking about his work at the 84,000 group, translating all 84,000 Tibetan Buddhist texts. And we also have a welcome event the first Sunday in Sunday in May. Our first Sundays are really lovely because we have a teaching and we have food. We'll have at 10 a.m. the teaching on meditation, Buddhism in 4 words, meditation, and then we'll have the actual meditation, and then we'll eat together a free meal, and then we'll have the welcome event, which is a great way to learn about us, our programs, and to get to ask the Lamas questions. Anything else?
We're also honoring Janet as part of our
Yes.
event this afternoon.
Yes.
And she deserves a lot of honoring, as you'll hear.
All right, we'll see some of y'all soon. And
Thanks.
if you're here, we have cookies and fruit.
Thanks for coming. Good to see everybody.
You.
Lovely to see you. See you in 20 minutes, hopefully. And thank you, Charlie. Shane, I'm thinking the little bit